Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer. Welcome to the Impactful Engineer. Our mission is to help you grow your engineering career and inspire you to pursue your full potential as not only an engineering professional, but as a member of your greater community. I'm Steve Maxey, and I'm a mechanical engineering manager in new product development. And I'm here with my brother Jake, who is a professional electrical engineer for an MEP firm. How are you feeling, Jake? You feeling good?
If I don't move and I speak from only this position,
yes,
I'll probably be all right.
All right. We're going to give it a shot. So Jake is getting over being sick, as we covered in the last episode, and he is alive again.
And this, I tell you, it was the worst ever. Turning 37 this month, at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
No other sickness, crash on the bike, wrecking the car. Nothing compares to this. This was 2 weeks, face down, death. Day 8, 9, I'm going, am I going to live? It was terrible. It was terrible. For all the people out there that, have gotten the flu in the past, are just like, whatever, dude. I don't know what kind of flu this was. I mean, I do know because my wife made me go to the hospital or go to the urgent care and they tested it. I'm just like, they're going to tell me to go get rest and drink water. Why am I going to suffer and get up and go to this thing? That's what they did. They said, oh, yeah, you're sick. You got influenza B. Go home. By the way, it's been really bad this year. I don't know if you've looked it up, but it's been really bad. And I go, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it.
Thanks, Captain
But no,
Obvious.
it was welcome to the Captain Obvious show. Where's my milkshake? Yeah, it was bad. Nobody cares though. So let's just move on from that.
Yep.
I am 15 pounds lighter though.
Yep. 15 pounds less of muscle.
Yeah, dude, it sucks.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get back to building it back. But
anyway,
yeah.
All right. So within this podcast, we do have a few episode formats. Our most common episode type is Jake and I presenting a topic where we introduce a why and how around that topic and give some tips to inspire some action. Other times it's on the fly. We have a topic and we just roll with it, which is going to be today, but it'll be fun. Occasionally, we do have quick solo episodes that immediately get down to the point and share an idea with you that is critical to growing your career. This is much like the episode last week. And these can be high-level concepts that change your thinking and mindsets or to more detailed topics to inspire some specific actions. And finally, about once a month, we will have a long format guest episode where we bring in experts in a particular field to share their perspective, mindset, and actionable tips around their area of genius.
Dude, I think we're on 97. Episodes.
We're getting there, man.
And we did weekly distributions, and this was the second one where we missed a week.
Yes,
because I was face in the bed in the dungeon.
Yeah,
couldn't move.
Yep.
I almost thought about doing it. I hate breaking a streak.
I know it was a long streak too.
I might have moved just like an inch and then said, nope.
Not happening.
Not happening.
Yeah. But here we are, man. We're back at it. So
we must continue.
Yeah, I know. So our topic, I'm sure it's going to be interesting for a lot of us out here because we all know that there's a lot of tariffs going on, right? And some economic shakeups. And I'm sure all the product development engineers out there are experiencing a lot of heartache and headache at the moment, as I am. And so what I want to talk about is the opportunity for us to continue to win, even when faced with these big adversities, right, in our careers. So it's always overwhelming, right? You're like, oh shit, we got all this stuff to do. We're not making sales. We can't produce things. Or if there's other challenges in your career where you're just like faced with this huge mountain of resistance for success. And I think these are great times for us to shine as high performance engineers because we can keep a calm, collective persona and find ways to get around the adversity and be able to execute swiftly and really showcase our skill sets in winning. And that's what our leaderships are going to be looking for. If they see you taking swift action and executing, even with faced with all these problems, that's where big promotions can happen. That's where big career advancements, more responsibilities, etc., can really come to fruition. So I think this is a good topic to touch on real quick. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so,
Absolutely.
has your industry been seeing anything
Well,
with all this?
I think some projects have probably dropped. I know they have. I've seen some projects go away that are
Mm-hmm.
tied to where this administration has decided that they're going to run their play
Mm-hmm.
and move things around and take some hard stances. Um, so we are actually tied to some of those, and you do see it come through with projects being paused, um, things that you had expected to come through, not to come through, and then also, you know, we're in the construction industry, so prices will go up, and we've got to deal with things like the tariffs with being proactive on our end. I mean, we don't in my company we do build, purchase things, parts, pieces, put them together, and a lot of those parts are on the list of things that are price increasing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not staying up until midnight every night like you are, uh, trying to move suppliers and things like that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's hit me that hard, but to tie it back to um, career, when you were talking about that, the first thing that popped in my head was 2019. Right, we land a project that is like a 700, like $600,000 design fee, which for the small company I was in was like kind of unheard of, and it was within a few months of design, um, which is big, and you'd want a bigger team that's used to doing those kinds of projects that doesn't have a million other small projects to handle that, right? And by small team, I mean like I was the electrical, doing everything. And
Yeah.
then we had this great opportunity, right? Great opportunity, but came in the form of a lot of pain um, because it was an overwhelming amount of coordination and work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you could shy away from it. You could say it's too much, say we need to hire somebody. You could do, oh, hey, we gotta not take on any more of these projects so I can pull resources. Like, I don't know, you could do a whole lot of not just tackling the problem and seeing it as a opportunity. Um, but obviously the team chose to tackle it head on. There were late nights, there were some headaches, some conflicts, things to get through. But on the other side of it, man, we had I grew tremendously from one singular project over a 6-month period, you know. Um, and looking back on that, I welcome that opportunity because if I hadn't gone through that, it would have taken me probably another year to gain the same experience and the same confidence, right?
Yeah.
And dealing with all these things, it was a monster project for me to coordinate.
Yeah.
So I grew a ton.
Yeah. So you're not just looking for the monetary advancements or title advancements. You're looking for your skill set, right? Stacking the skills, growth that you're going to find with these really challenging times in your career, and that's going to ultimately result in career advancement and monetary advancements as well. Um, and it really pressures you to find alternative ways to accomplish things. You might have a process that you normally follow that takes say 3 weeks to do, and now you're like, I don't have that luxury. I have to get this done in 1 week. I don't have the luxury of doing it in 3 weeks. And so, what can I do to make this objective happen in that a lot of time? And so you'll find ways around things like, hey, can I get ahead of this thing by doing this other thing first, or can I just have this person approve to bypass this smaller process that's holding me up, or whatever it takes? And thinking outside the box like that is really going to showcase to those around you how to be more successful, and your leadership is going to see that and be like, okay, this Jake's really figuring this out. Not only can we pull from what he's learning and implement this across the board if it's sustainable, but we're going to look for him to be a leader in a future team, and progress him as a high performer amongst our team.
Yeah. So one thing I learned from that project in 2019, like one of the biggest things looking back, what I actually learned how to do was to just be calm in the face of huge uncertainty, huge amounts of work, and just be able to go, okay, this is what is, this is what's happening. Here are the effects. Let's share it with everybody. Let's get a consensus, and let's pick some things that we know we're just going to let burn. That would have been great to do, but we need to do the things that are essential to do that will derail this project if we don't move forward with these things. So that is one of the biggest things I learned from that. And when I got over here on the East Coast and went through a period of, I think it was 38% compound annual growth rate, which was a lot for us. I was able to go, okay, I've been here before. I know what this looks like. I know there's going to be a little extra effort, but there's also going to be these tactical things and strategies that we have to deploy, and these choosing of resource allocations, knowing that we're sacrificing these other things to get this stuff done and to do our very best. That helped me so much. I got so just going through that adversity and that really hard stuff, instead of backing down and just actually figuring it out, not changing your attitude. You're just like, we're still here to work. We're still here to do the thing. We're still here to complete a mission. We just have these other inputs now. This other input is really crazy, and it's going to hit us hard, but it's still just an input. Let's figure out what to do with it. I got a lot of praise for that going through that growth period, and just my demeanor didn't change. I wasn't frantic. It was just you do the stuff, you get it done, right?
Yeah,
that was
and then
was the biggest one.
Yeah, and when you put enthusiasm behind it, right, rather than the freak out panic, that's really going to even showcase your skill set even more. Be excited for trying to find new ways to do things. And this is also another place where you can deploy that whole 80-20 rule, right? When you're faced with these adversities, you can't have perfection and still progress through these projects. You have to dial back the need, like that internal need for everything to be perfect, and find ways that, like, hey, this is good enough to move us forward, so let's just execute to this and get to the next thing, because I don't have time to get it to that perfection 100%. Obviously there's things that you have to make sure that are sound, right, when safety's involved, etc. But
well, that'll be that 20%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but overall, you're going to need to deploy that 80-20 rule very effectively to move from phase to phase to phase to phase of a project.
Yep. And when somebody told me this, which kind of like cleared it all up for me, I was like, oh yeah, that's actually what I'm doing. It was doing all of the right things instead of doing all of the things right.
Yes.
And I was like, yes.
I love that phrase.
That's what I learned.
Yep.
And there's a lot of that. You'll find that everything else being equal, you're in say just a standard growth period in the company. Nothing's too hard. Nothing's like super easy, but you're working that nice 38, 40 hours. It's not crunch. Your brain is still like together at the end of the day. You can take those periods of time and then implement the let's do the right stuff instead of all the stuff right for a mission of yours. A promotion, getting that next job, being considered for this position, showcasing your skills, bringing the evidence forward that you're the guy for whatever, learning a new skill, whatever it is. You can take all these things you learn from these opportunities during really hard times to deploy when the times are good, to move yourself even faster or in the direction that you want to go. So I wanted to make that point because you can on purpose deploy these things whenever you need to move wherever you need to go. Instead of just kind of coasting and letting whatever the outside influence is at the time determine how busy you are and how frantic things are. You get to decide when to deploy that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And you will win and progress your career. Like there's no I do not question that. So anything else you want to touch on this topic?
Not really. This was just like a quick.
Yep.
It feels like almost like a solo episode.
Yeah.
You know, there will always, when you work long enough, you'll just start to see the patterns. There's always going to be stuff. There's always going to be shit. Like, things are just, always going to happen at different degrees of difficulty. It's just don't wish for the good times, quote unquote. Just learn from the times that you're in.
Yes.
Stop avoiding and start running through. There's this quote that I have been kind of living with this week because I really liked it. And of course, it's from Marcus Aurelius, the stoic, that it just is what it is. I love the way they think. But it says, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, right? And what that means, of course, is that the thing in front of you that you think is an obstacle or perceive as an obstacle that you want to go around so badly is actually the thing you need to run straight into, right? What stands in the way becomes the way. I love that quote. And I think it applies here. I think it applies to what we're talking about. There's the tariffs. Yeah. Tariffs are standing right in your way, man. But it is the way. You can't get around it. Go through it.
Yeah, I'm in kind of an alignment with that. I heard a quote, and I'm going to butcher this. I'm just going to completely paraphrase it. I believe it was Churchill said something around the lines of, when you're in hell, run faster, right? So when you're in the shit and shit's going on, that's when you push the hardest. So you can A, get out of the shit, but B, you're going to learn the most at that time. So, all right, we'll wrap this up. If you have a specific topic that you want us to talk about, and you want our perspective on that, you can reach us out or reach out to us on LinkedIn under our names, or simply email us at questions@impactfulengineer.com. And if you learned something today or think someone else needs to hear it, please share this show. It's the only way we can grow and continue to create value and impact on the engineering community.